First, though, thanks for joining us here for your 5 News at 10. I'm Erica Thomas.
And I'm Darren Bobb. Many of us remember where we were, what we were doing as we watched the world change back on September 11, 2001. And while most of us watched the events unfold either at home or at work or at school, a Springdale native was in the middle of it all.
David Phillips was at the Pentagon on 9/11, just feet away from where the plane crashed into the building that day. 5 News reporter Zoe Henry spoke with Phillips about his terrifying experience and shares his story of survival.
I am a survivor.
September 11th, 2001 started out as a day like any other day.
Just the usual conversation you'll have with somebody you work with that you think highly of.
David Phillips was a U.S. Army military police soldier in 2001, serving at the Pentagon.
In the middle of our conversation, actually in the end as it turned out, I noticed that our office had turned bright, vivid yellow. And that for a moment stunned me a little bit because I couldn't figure out why everything had just turned yellow. But almost instantly,
Phillips describes how the atmosphere quickly changed at the Pentagon.
It felt as though somebody had picked up our building and dropped it. Now that's quite a different feeling because the Pentagon has walls that are 5 feet thick on the exterior, and we're near the exterior. So it's not a feeling you would expect to encounter in a building like that. So as I'm hitting the floor, my friend Dave Richardson threw himself on top of me to protect me from the debris and the breaking glass and so forth that was going through our office at the time. We didn't know it at the time, but later we found out that the aircraft had passed immediately under us. The people that were on the 2 floors below us were all killed.
American Airlines Flight 77 had been hijacked and crashed in the Pentagon. The 64 people on the plane were killed, along with 125 in the Pentagon that day.
Well, as we were leaving, we walked out into the hallway, and at this time, it's completely dark. A hallway that I'd been down hundreds of times before looked completely strange to me. I didn't know where I was as soon as we got away from the door. The area was instantly very hot, and the heat from the burning jet beneath us was intruding through that door. We kept walking, and I began to suspect that I'd waited too long before leaving and that I wasn't going to make it because we were running out of air, couldn't see anything, it was pitch black.
Phillips says he was eventually able to find a spiral staircase that led to doors to the outside, which were usually locked. But on September 11th, the doors had been blown off because of the plane's impact, and he was able to escape. Some might say it was luck, others, divine intervention.
Without God in my story, there is no story. It was divine intervention that I did not die that day. I was 20 feet away from a crashing, exploding jet. Normally, you can't plan to live after that.
Covering news where you live, Zoe Henry, 5 News.
After retiring from the military, Phillips became an attorney and now serves as the deputy city attorney for the city of Springdale.